Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I didn't hear you.
I know you like it.
No, I didn't realize it was you, Beth. There you go.
So Joan, as we go through the meeting, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
Okay.
We can be fairly informal here. Thanks. So Joan, unless you have something you would like to
Nothing
add
for
to
good
for
of
the
the
good of the
cause.
cause, okay, we'll skip that and move on to the reports. And that, so the first report will be the budget status report from Leonard.
Okay. This is the budget status report through April 2017. In the revenue section, our property taxes collected year-to-date was $14,909,593. Other tax items, $41,650. Charges for services, $23,777. Use of money, $9,429. Miscellaneous revenue is $75,879. State and federal aid, $2,218,098 for a total. Revenue through April was $17,278,426. Looking at last year compared to this year, we're just about a percent behind from last year. So, and I assume that's going to be caught up here quickly here by June. We'll be, hopefully have the majority, the rest of our state aid, so that'll catch that up. We'll be close to 100% by then. Any questions on the revenue side? Expenditures, salaries of $6,099,097. Employee benefits for $4,748,246. Contractual and BOCES expenses, $1,949,852. Materials and supplies, $260,063. Equipment, $57,522. Debt service, $194,667. And textbook expense was $17,155 for total expenditures of $13,326,602. And if you're looking at last year compared to this year at this time, the same time as we did last year, we're about 0.25% higher on the expense side. Any questions on the expenditures?
Leonard, I have a question, but it's not really related to this, but it is financial. When we were getting the, getting ready for the budget and we didn't know the state numbers, and we put in 20,000 from the fund balance, and if the state aid came through, that would go back in. How exactly does that work? Because then we did get state aid, so will that never come out, or when it comes back in?
Yeah, well, when we did the budget, no, we took it totally out of the revenue side of the budget. We had, I think it was like 520,000 we had estimated before the state aid was finalized. And then we got our state aid and then we backed that off to 490. So if you look in our budget book here, the appropriated fund balance for next year, the 17-18 year, is 490,000. But yeah, that's what.
So we can already you can already do that adjustment because you know what the numbers will be, is that correct, or? or it comes in
Well,
already?
Yeah, we won't be doing any
We don't
adjustment
take
this
it-
year.
Yeah, we don't take it out unless we need it at the end of the year.
Okay,
So in the last couple of years, we haven't had to take it out. I mean, it's been in the budget to balance the
so it's in
budget.
the budget, but because the state aid will probably.
It's not in the, that part was, it was taken out. So there was, before the budget for the 2017-18 year was completed,
Right,
we had let's say $520,000 that we were going to take from that.
right.
But because state aid came in at the level it did, we didn't need
So
that,
gotcha.
so we lowered that amount.
So we don't have to put it back because we never took it
No.
out? Okay,
No.
thanks.
You're talking about just for the budget for next year.
Right,
Yeah.
because we hadn't figured that money in, and we said if
Exactly.
the state aid came in, that we
Right.
wouldn't have to mess with it, so I was just wondering how that actually worked.
Yep.
So,
That's how it
thanks.
works.
And if we don't, you know, if we have money, if we don't spend all the money that we had out, then we don't draw on that anyway. That's why the restricted fund has been able to grow, because we haven't had.
Because
to
the
use
extra
it.
money goes in there. Okay.
Well, because we haven't had to pull it out.
Right,
We haven't had to
right.
pull any out.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Okay.
Good question. Treasurer's report.
Okay. Treasury's report through April. On the left-hand side of the report there, we'll go over that. That's our book balances. The balance from the previous month was $9,519,651. Receipts for the month of April through April was $41,626.37. Disbursements for the month were $1,546,093.32. Our debit memo credit charges were $734,124.41, leaving a cash balance per books of $8,749,308.46. On the right-hand side of the report is the balances per bank. Balance per bank statement was $9,087,283.09. Our outstanding checks through April were $337,974.63, leaving a balance per bank, $8,749,308.46, and that balances to our books of $8,749,308.46. Any questions on the treasurer's report?
Superintendent's report, obviously there is no superintendent's report tonight because of the trip in Washington. I will say, I don't know, did everybody read the article, the Jim McCauley article yesterday's? He did respond to that with a letter, just a very brief letter to correct the misinformation that was in it.
I don't know the article.
Jim McCauley wrote an article against the capital project. He had, his facts were dated, I guess I should say, because he still had us listed as a focus school or not. He had still the storage here and the phys ed storage still in the project, it isn't. So Roger did go back to answer it, to just correct those facts. You know, we're not gonna get into a back and forth with them, but
In the paper,
It's
he
in
wrote it
the-
with himself, Rogers?
he wrote a letter to the editor.
Oh.
And hopefully, well, it's not in today, but hopefully it'll get in tomorrow. And by all reports, the trip is going very well, so. Information for the board, there's quite a bit of information there. Most of it focused on the hockey, the proposed hockey and football mergers with Saranac Lake. So let's get to the bookend things. First is the Bookstore Plus flyer, the author live chat. This is something that's being done as co-hosted by the Bookstore Plus Lake Placid Central School District. They're Skyping with an author. I ran into Amy Spicer, she's very excited about it, and this is open to the public, so if any of you are interested in going, I think you would be more than welcome to would be greeted wholeheartedly. So I think this is a neat thing that the school is doing and that the bookstore closet is doing. And then at the other end of it is the year-end dates for 2017 for the district. These are all the end of the year activities. Karen put this together. It's great.
It's overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. You're not required to go to every single thing, but
I
it
think
is.
something's missing unless I'm missing it. The concert,
A high school concert?
does that not normally go on this?
Yes.
I mean, I.
Oh, you know what, it's before this first date.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Uh,
So that's the 18th, May 18th, yes.
And the middle school concert is the day after.
The day after.
18th and 19th,
Right.
okay.
So it's nice if, you know, if you can make as many of these or pick one to come to. It's nice when board members are there. So the merger, we are hoping to have this, if the board is okay with that, having this on the agenda for the next meeting as an action item. There is a lot of information. There's the invitation letter from Mr. Bennett, the merger application, the letter from Diane Fox. There's a girls hockey merger application. Donna's answers to the questions. Do you have any questions or comments? And any problems with us taking action on this at the next meeting?
No, it lists in the letter that the Saranac Lake plans on having a school board meeting. And they're gonna have a presentation about it from their athletic director. But it looks like the date of it is the same date as the budget vote.
What was that in Diane Fox's?
Yeah,
It is.
okay.
Donna couldn't be here tonight because she had.
That's okay, I just was,
Yeah.
I just thought, go over and see that if the information's there, but I was just surprised that
We
it's
might
their
have-
budget vote too, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's everybody's.
Yeah, all right, thanks.
The only question that I guess it's more of an assurance that I would like to have from Saranac Lake is that, and it certainly wouldn't stand in the way of the merger, I don't think, but we as a district have really gone out of our way to remove the conflict that sometimes exists between kids that participate in sports and kids that participate in performing arts programs, so that there aren't those scheduling conflicts that pull them apart. So much so, I mean, we've really gone to the point where we've said these dates, there can not be any athletic activities scheduled. So I would like to make sure that we get the same sort of assurance from Saranac Lake, whose reputation is a little less than that, I think. So that's my concern.
So they bring sports over then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's something that I would like some assurances from them.
Another thing that was a little tricky with the girls lacrosse, because Laura played lacrosse and we played on Saranac Lake's team, and it was fine, and we had a very good carpool system going, but there were one or two kids whose parents couldn't drive. I mean, we just, of course, took them with us, but it's, I don't think it's anything that would stop this. This is a great opportunity for kids who want to play football, but I think really at a certain level, you're somewhat, limiting kids who can't get their own transportation over there.
Make sure
So
students
I
aren't
think
left
maybe if Donna is kind of aware of who's on the team and who's getting picked up and or whatever.
Yep.
Maybe, I don't know, when she wants to arrange the carpooling, but just to make sure if there's a child that doesn't have a parent to drive them
Right.
over there, that they don't miss out on playing football.
One question I've gotten about hockey is in the original proposal was the uniforms wouldn't be part of our budget or Saranac Lake's budget, that they would be a separate purchase.
Who would be purchasing?
I'm not sure,
I
but
thought they would be split, that the costs were split.
the question was, have we, and I sort of know the answer to this, but Did we take out of the budget 50% of the girls' hockey budget, because it'll be split now between Sarah Lake and here?
No.
But it was before, we haven't even
Right,
voted on it yet,
right.
so it hasn't been there. So that money certainly could be allocated otherwise,
Sure.
towards uniforms or
There's
whatever.
gotta be quite a bit, I mean, not a ton of savings, but ice time and
Oh,
coaching
sure,
and all
sure,
that.
sure. Okay.
Okay. Ben, I think that takes care of information for the board. The discussion is the board retreat. We can go back to that. I did send out a doodle poll. I did not get responses from everybody. Did you get it?
I didn't get it actually, but I read this, so as far as dates go, the second does not work for me, the other two are fine. I will not be here.
Brenda, it's looking like the second doesn't work for many.
Okay.
So we aim for the 13th.
The 13th does not work for me. Graduation
Okay,
out of town.
right, so I guess, does the 8th work for you? Thanks for saying that.
I think so. I'm trying to think now, I don't have my calendar with me. I should be here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
As of right now, I'm going to desk.
all right. Can you let me know if it doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so that takes care of the win, looks like it's going to be June 8th. The next question is where? The last meeting, we did talk about the advantages, and we kind of sat on going down to Albany. But I want to make sure that that's okay with everybody, that everybody understands that we're doing a half-day retreat. NISBA said 9 to 1 with the topics that we had would be adequate, but we wouldn't want to do any less than that.
Right.
So with with traveling to Albany, it really does become a full day. I did talk to Roger about this, he says it really doesn't matter. So whatever we as a board want to do, we can. When I talked to Darcy at NISBA, she did say, there's sometimes if you're away from the district, there are more people in NISBA available. The legal team, for example, would be available if we had it here. We would probably be Skyping with somebody down there, but this way Jay and the other people could come in. Usually it's more relaxed and it just gives us more flexibility. If we have it here, it's a 9 to 1 commitment. That's it. It's not a full day. You don't have the travel time.
Because we get on there, we're gonna leave at 6 to
Right.
actually get there, so. Well,
Yes.
that's enough fast lunch.
Yeah. As long as it's not pouring down rain like it was last year when we had that. The other issue is, there are extra costs. So the fee for a half day is $1,600. If we have it here, we would be paying for their transportation. They would rent a car, so it'd be, they'd figure about $65 for that, plus a hotel room, because they'd come with the night before, and then any incidental costs. So there is that, probably another $350 on top of that. So what do you want to do?
And how many, are they talking about 2 people?
One, I think just one.
Okay.
I think just one, and then, for the legal question, the legal issue, we would probably do a Skype video.
As long as they guarantee that we have access to that.
There would be somebody on the other end.
Yeah.
I don't know who it would be, she wouldn't either, kind of be who's there.
Jay's wife.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't be Jay.
No.
No, I guess it won't be Jay. I think it would be Jay if you're down there.
Right. Well, so that's the trade-off, I guess.
I'm
So-
good either way.
I am too,
Yeah, I mean,
Me too.
we're committed to the time one way or the other, so.
I would prefer to be here.
okay, then that's what, is that okay, everybody?
Sure.
So here,
Okay, here,
okay.
here it will be.
Good enough.
Can you check, we have a policy meeting that night, on the 8th, which, I had already mentioned that we can move, but if it's gonna be here, will you just double check that when Roger gets back to see if he's fine with it? Staying you two, I don't know how you feel about it.
I'm okay with it, yeah,
If it's here, and then we'll just do the policy that night.
yeah, that's fine.
So, but it's not a problem for me to move it, I can get a hold of the other members if he says that it would be better to move it. Just let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
So then there were a couple questions in terms of the topics.
Was there a questionnaire that came out, or will
Not
there
yet.
be?
No,
Okay.
there were, not
Do
yet.
you know, it's because, the reason I'm asking is because something else came from Barry Epistle, and I thought it was that, and then it was just
No,
one
it
of
was
those
to be a
general
present, it was
invitations.
to be a presenter at the
Yeah,
event.
okay,
Yeah.
I was afraid I had deleted
No.
something important.
No,
so-
you didn't,
okay.
but there will be, I'll get to that in a minute.
Sorry.
So, we talked about communication and roles and responsibilities, and I think, you know, when I talked with her, she said communications would definitely be covered in their roles and responsibilities section. We also, so those two would be covered. The executive session and open meeting laws, her question was, is that, you know, are there specific questions with that, or is it just a general review that we wanted as a board?
I want a general review.
General review, okay, and that gets covered in the roles and responsibilities too, so that'll be there. And then
I'm sorry, no, it's clear.
the fourth topic was legal issues facing the board. She wondered if there were specific legal questions that we had. And if not, then it'll be kind of a question and answer kind of thing. We'll do a conference call. If we're here, we'll do a conference call, and there may be more than one participating in the conference call. She'll just have to wait and see who's available, but it would be kind of a question and answer thing, unless there's specific topics, and actually, if in the course of the question and answer, there may be specific questions that come up.
I have a specific, but I hadn't thought of it last week, but it is something I've thought of many times since being on the board, and it's the hiring and what is our obligation as being a public-funded institution. What are the CSEA laws, the posting of jobs, what are we limited to, or legally, it's one of those things we kind of, I think, take a guess at, but maybe not. I mean, I'm sure there are laws
It's actually in the contracts too.
It's in the
The
contracts?
contracts cover that, yeah.
of how things are posted and, okay. So that, I don't know, I myself am a little, I
We
mean,
can review that,
just because I work at the county and I see postings of
right.
school district jobs, and I don't know if they have, and they're not all jobs, but some jobs. And so I was just wondering if we could have some clarification
Yeah,
on what
it
is.
a good review. Yeah, okay, good. All right. Okay, so that's all I had, unless you have any, if you think of anything between now and,
Right.
call her tomorrow and firm things up.
We got, a month to
Yeah.
put questions out there.
Right,
But those are gonna be the major,
yes,
the three major categories.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so then, it's gonna be a good meeting. We'll go to the action items. So the first action item is to approve the minutes of last week's meeting. The proposed resolution reads, be it resolved, the Board of Education, Lake Placid Central School District hereby accepts the minutes of the May 2nd, 2017 Board of Education meeting based upon information provided to the board and placed on file with the district clerk. Is there a motion to approve this resolution? Thanks, Pat. Is there a second?
A second.
Thanks, Patty. Are there questions, discussion, corrections? If not, then let's please vote. And the motion carries 5-4, 0 against, and
No,
one
sorry.
one abstention. Watch it, buddy.
I will.
Okay. Special education is the next item. Again, the resolution reads, be it resolved, the Board of Education of Lake Placid Central School District hereby approves, arranges for the special education placements, classification, and related services as recommended by the Committee on Special Education and/or the Preschool Committee on Special Education for the 2016, 2017, and 2017-2018 school years. Is there a motion to approve this resolution? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Linda. Questions? If not, then let's please vote. And the motion carries 6-4-0 against. Then are there any questions concerning the proposed placements found in the packet to be considered at the June 6th meeting?
Did you say there was one student removed? I noted it late in the afternoon. They took out one student.
Which packet is that?
The one for the next one.
For the next one.
Yeah.
All right, then that takes care of the regular part of the meeting. We are now going to move into executive session. So is there a motion to move into executive session to discuss the superintendent's evaluation? Thanks, Pat. Is there a second? Vote up here.
Why not?
Sure. Except it's not coming up.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
You're just in the bathrooms.
Okay, so the motion carries 6-4-0 against,
Thank you.
and it is by Joni, 7:23.
Leonard, if you hang around till afterwards.
Sure.
Just kidding.
Oh, wow.
I thought you were serious.
That was a nice
Keep that
answer.
right.
I'm gonna be out here waiting for you.
I did too. I'm gonna, I'll lock the door, so all you have to do is just turn off all the lights and just shut it.
Oh, you'll turn
Yep,
him over.
yep, I'm gonna do that right now.
Is that sheet on?
It's going to be. Just about 2 seconds.
Bye.
Your favorite machine.